Hot Topics Talk Radio. What's up, Yvonne Baker?
Well, I'm glad you're live. I'm not.
You're not? How you doing, my love?
I am blessed.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, tonight we are missing Mr. Chris Smith again. He's got some family stuff he does. He does coaching for his his baby. So he's going to be out. And actually next week will be our last show for the season. We'll be out as of the week after next, up through, what was it, July? I can't remember the dates.
11th?
Yeah, something like that. But of course, yeah, we'll let them know. We got to take a break every now and then too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So welcome to Hot Topics Talk Radio TV with me and that beautiful lady right there, Miss Yvonne Baker. I'm hoping you guys had, well, now you going gangster?
Hey. Oh, that's right. I'm going to Vegas, not California. Okay.
Yeah. So what's the sign for Vegas?
I have no idea. Is that what it is?
LV. Oh my gosh. So I'm hoping you guys are having a good evening because, we're trying to get through this tonight because both of us are kind of tired. I've got some issues going on. I think I'm lagging or delaying.
Oh, no, you're doing fine on my end.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. So what's up, Miss Jacqueline? How are you?
Hey, Jacqueline, we missed you last week.
Yes, and also we're joined by Miss Kathleen Kumar. Thank you for joining us, Miss Kathleen. It's always good to see you as well. So tonight we are talking about being single and being pressured into having a child or children. So this topic was actually brought to you by none other than Miss Yvonne Baker. So always got to ask, Yvonne.
What?
Why this topic?
See, what I do is I listen to, I pay attention. Is what I do.
Okay.
There are things about, people say things, and I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds like a good topic. So I just bring it to the board.
Well, I can't do a topic without putting some stats in it somewhere, right?
Oh yeah, I saw it. Yep, I saw it.
I love statistics.
Yes, from day one. And although I have to say, you have gotten much better since we first started, because in your description when we first started, you remember your description had so many stats in it. You didn't know where the stats left off and the actual description came in. It was like, okay, well, the consensus says so, but you've gotten much, much, much better.
That much?
Yes.
Jeez.
Yes.
Well, the thing is that I always have thought people need to know numbers, and numbers don't lie, right?
No, numbers don't lie. They don't. But, thank you for cutting it down.
I know it was only like one paragraph, but it's 500 words in that paragraph. But anyway, I was actually trying to get to the statistics so I can kind of read about it a little bit. But, being single is, for some people it's good. For some people, they long to get married or long to be in a relationship, things like that. But I know that with us, we had children. I had my child, I was single at the time. And I didn't have, well, I kind of had pressure because I saw all of my girlfriends that had had babies at that point. Because I was 27 years old when I had Cameron.
Damn,
So all of my thanks a lot. Don't pay her no mind. Anyway, so I was 27 years old when I had Cameron, but my pressures didn't come from like my mom or my dad, my family. My pressures didn't come from there. And it wasn't even really that it was coming from like my girlfriends who had already had children. It was just that, okay, I got pregnant and I just said, okay, fine, I'll keep him, there was just, it wasn't any pressure. But why do you think that some people feel pressure to have children?
You know what you have? Okay, let's take my granddaughter for instance. She is. I'm not going to tell her age because that's her business. But she's over 25. But
Okay.
she don't want kids. And her thing is she's got three two. Wait a minute. Wait.
Uh-oh.
Two brothers and a sister, and she feels like plus she's got a whole slew of cousins.
Nieces.
Yeah, yeah. Well, not cousins. I'm sorry, nieces,
Mm-hmm.
nephews. So her thing is that why should she have kids? She don't. She really. And then, with the way she was brought up, it kind of deterred her from actually wanting kids because her sister and brothers are her kids.
Yeah. They're
So,
small. They're little.
well, they're not that little anymore, but
Well, but there was a distinctive age difference between them.
yes, yes, there, yes, it is. But a lot of, and it's like her mom keeps asking her, well, hey, yeah, our children
Yeah.
ain't. Okay,
You almost slipped.
almost. But she keeps asking her, when is she gonna have, make her a grandmother?
Really?
And she's like, look, you've got three other kids. They can make you a grandmother. I'm not the one. And she's very set on not being having kids.
And that's okay though.
That's okay. That's how she feels, and I have to me as her grandmother. I have to respect her feelings. You know, and I'm not anxious to be a great grandmother. So
You're not?
no. Well, I have a total of 12 grandkids,
Ouch.
and two of those 12 are deceased. But you know, I still have 12 grandchildren, and
Right.
I'm still young. I don't need you know great grandkids. I mean, once I'm settled and come into myself and realize that I'm not still a spring chicken, but right now I don't feel like a spring chicken. But the thing is that it's her decision. It's her decision if she want to have kids or if she don't want to have kids.
So outside of like a parent pressuring their young single child or young single daughter or son, because at some point you can, well, we as mothers call them children
Yeah.
forever. But outside of a parent or relative that is trying to pressure a young person to have a child, why do you think it's so important to society to get into your business as to when you should have children?
You know what? And that's something that parents, for both male and female, because parents they pressure the men to, when you gonna make me a grandmother? When you gonna have kids?
Right.
But it's something that I think it's something that should be left up to that particular person, because although the grandparents will probably be there for their grandkids, but the responsibility falls on the shoulder of the parent. And if there are a lot of single parents that really can't afford to have children,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
everything is so expensive now. The somebody was telling me that a can of Similac was like was $20. I mean, who can go buy
Yeah.
a case of Similac? Well, I know when my kids were little, I thought $10 for a case of, I don't remember. I'm just saying 10, but I thought that
Yeah, it was about $12 for a case when we were having children. And back then that was a lot of money.
that was an awful lot of money.
Yeah.
And when I had my kids, we didn't have, or I wasn't privy to WIC, so everything had to come out of my pocket. I wasn't,
Right.
I worked.
Right.
I wasn't receiving any kind of state, on the state receiving any kind of benefits that way. I worked, so it was, you know, and diapers, Pampers. Oh my God!
Oh, now that was expensive too. Yeah, and they still are now. They're expensive. But you know what? I think that some people, they give in to the pressures of whether it is a family member or they give in to the pressures of society that says by whatever age you should have a child. Now, we understand medically, like for women, there is a time clock, because you hear women say, my clock is running, tick tock, tick tock. Yeah.
Mm.
But now with medical advances, women over the age of 35 are successfully having children. So do you think that women are waiting to have children and taking a back seat to those pressures, and they're doing it at their own time frame?
I think so. I really think so. I mean, there are, um, for instance, my an acquaintance. She's got one child, and he is over the age of 20,
Mm-hmm.
very early 20s, and she finally met somebody that she was you know really into it. They're in love, and I'm assuming they were talking about getting married. Well, she's over the age of 40, so I guess he wanted kids. I don't know the whole scenario, but what I do know is she went and had a reversal tubal,
Mm-hmm.
and she got pregnant, but because she was in that age bracket of where you're not supposed to have kids, she ended up having a miscarriage.
Mm.
But according to what I understand, is that the the baby would have had disabilities.
Right. And then that's something else that you're adding to,
Yeah.
not only the overall care, you're adding to the expense of it, and then is it fair to the child when you know that that child is going to have disabilities? Yeah, I get it.
And you
I
know
get
what?
it.
I deal with special needs every day. And believe me, they are the sweetest people you ever want to meet. But they're they're away from, the majority of them are away from their parent. They're living in group homes, and having someone else take care of them. So
Mm-hmm.
the question is, if you knew that that child was going to be special needs, why did you continue to have them? Or and I know
You
that
know what? And I want to ask you a question when when we talk about that. And I know that this is not the show for that, but then you brought it in, and I just want to kind of ask the question: Do you think that when a parent knows that there is going to be a special need, if the child is going to be have any disabilities, do you think that we can say that the parent or the prospective parent is being selfish just for the sake of having a child, not thinking about the um, what the child is going to have to endure because they are special needs when they get here? Do you think that's selfish?
You know what? That's really hard. That's really, really hard to say because now um, I have special needs clients that are living at home, and for the most part, the parents are taking very good care of them. Some of them are
Oh, I'm
so
sure.
overprotective, and it's like it's they're so overly protective. It's like at a fault because they're not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
And so, what type of accommodations have they made for this person that they've sheltered for so long and they're no longer here? How are they going to maintain? Now they're going to either have to try and live on their own and try to be independent after being dependent for so long, or end up on the streets or in some kind of facility that nobody gives a damn about them.
See, that's the sad part. And like I said, I know that this is not, the topic, but like when you said it, it just struck me to ask the question. I don't know how everybody else feels that are listening in tonight or watching the show tonight, but I'm just going to ask you guys a question. You guys can send us the comment back. But do you think that parents who are aware that they are going to have children with disabilities are being selfish to bring that child into the world, or should they terminate? Um,
Okay, let's just interject.
okay.
I've been there,
Oh, okay.
and I became pregnant right after my daughter. Well, yeah, right after my daughter, and I came down with rubella measles.
Mm,
Unknowingly, I was pregnant. So
wow.
when I went to my doctor, and he said, when I went to the doctor, my husband took me to the doctor, and he said that I was pregnant, and um, he explained to me by having that uh, the measles like that, rubella, it was a high percentage that the child would be born with disabilities.
Wow.
So my husband and I had to make a decision on if we were prepared to take care of a special needs child. And at that time, I was extremely young, and personally, I don't know if you would call me being selfish by not wanting to deal with that, but I chose to abort.
Because in a lot of cases, you're not mentally prepared
No,
for that,
no.
you know?
And
Huh.
and it's hard enough raising normal kids.
Can we
But
call it normal?
uh, you know, they you know, they send us through so much,
Yeah.
with especially with, pressures in school, and they get to an age where they don't know if they're an adult or still want to be a child,
Right.
or
Right.
so we have so much to deal with that. It's really hard to say, you're trying to raise special needs and a normal kid.
It's tough. it's I can't even imagine. I really can't imagine, because you give up so much of yourself. And then if you are with a spouse, then can you imagine the pressure? And you put a lot of pressure on your marriage. Things can fall apart. So
I have a client. Most of them are single parent, but their husband or their spouse, when they found out that the child was special needs, they left because they couldn't deal with it.
mm,
So they left everything on that other parent to take care of that child.
yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, that's one of the things when you talk about people waiting, you know, to build a career or to have, a savings account to have kids, and then you get to an age over 35, and then you decide that you want to have a child. Those are the issues that you're going to run into.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, not
So,
not to say
oh,
that not to I'm sorry, not to say that that can't happen. When you're younger too, but it's more likely to happen after the age of 35 than it is
right.
after the age of 22.
Right, right. So Cedric says no, he doesn't think it is selfish, because to some, the love of that child makes them proceed, though it may be hard. I get it, of course, of course. But like I said, I didn't mean to go in that direction, because that's not what the show's about. But so I'm going to give you a scenario, okay? And this is for everybody out there. I think they are more selfish to let the child go. To let the child go. What does that mean, Cedric? You know I'm slow.
Well, that makes two of us.
I'm slow. So, I'm sorry, Miss Jacqueline. If it's too long, I can't put it up. I'm sorry, I yawned. So Jacqueline says, don't see myself terminating a child under any circumstances. It's still a life. If I know ahead of time before having children, then that's something different to consider. Al, he says, one of the reasons it's important to know your mate before entering into something so permanent. And you know what, Al, you're reading my mind, because I wanted to go there. Okay. So I wanted to go to the area of being pressured by your mate.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we've got some guys on. All right.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I can go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I'm glad we got guys on, right? So I want to know what it feels like. And I wish, dang, who wants to call me?
Well,
Who
what's the
wants?
question?
Oh, okay. So the question is, I want to know from a guy how it feels when a woman starts to tell you that her clock is running down, her clock is running out. She has tick tock, I got to get pregnant. I want to know what that feels like. And do you consider it when she says that? Al says, hee. Okay, Al.
Tick tock, Al.
I know. So I want to hear from the guys, okay? I want you to call area code 702-245-5488. The number is area code 702-245-5488. I want to hear from somebody that is of male persuasion. Al, Cedric, one of you guys give me a call. I'm standing by. But you know how, because guys, I'm sure when they get into a relationship with a woman, and they don't have children, they don't share children, I'm sure that the topic of babies comes up. I'm sure. So, but
Okay.
while
So
they're Huh?
while we're waiting, so I had two kids by by my husband,
Okay.
and my last two kids' father and I we were supposed to have gotten married,
Okay.
and I have been knowing this man since we were 16, 17 years old. No, 14, 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So we were together, bought a house. Well, in the process, but anyway, don't need to go all there. So he start telling me that, he wanted us to have a baby, and I'm like,
Oh boy.
no, I really don't think. I really didn't think I could have kids, but I was skeptical, even though we were in love. So I conceded and got pregnant. It was a surprise, but I got pregnant, and we were supposed to have gotten married December. Anyway, we were supposed to have gotten married, and so right after I had the first one with him, then I went to the doctor and found out I was pregnant again.
Okay.
So now, mind you, he never said, these are not my kids. He just never accepted them. So, and I mean,
Well, what's the difference?
so Al, like Al was saying, or one of the guys was saying that you need to know your mate. Well, you can think you know your mate, and shit changes.
Fast.
Hey, quick, fast, so it's not like you can read their mind and say, okay, well, I know what he's gonna do. I see
Right.
the future. I know what he's gonna do. You have to take everybody by for face value, just like you guys have to take us at face value. So it's you don't know people, and once you get pregnant and you know everything is all happy and everything rosy, and all of a sudden it's like, well, what happened? And then you
Right.
start thinking about, well, what did I do? So now you
Right.
got these kids that you're raising by yourself, whether it be male or female, man or woman. So it's you don't know anybody.
Al, he said there's
And
always
uh,
signs.
no,
Al, give me a call, please. 702-245-5488, 702-245-5488. Al, give me a call. I want to talk to you. I really want to
yeah,
talk to you.
I'll talk to you too, Al.
Uh, because you know what? Okay, let me read Cedric's comment. He said it's understandable because the man's clock never ticks. But for feeling a woman, it's understandable. Oh, it moved. Understandable if she wants kids. Yeah. But okay, let me say this. So, say for instance, and this is just hypothetical, say for instance, a woman says to a man, and you guys have been, say, together for like 2 years. Not very long, but long in some cases and long in some standards, right? But 2 years. And the woman says to the man, my clock is running out. We've been together for 2 years. I love you. You love me. I'm ready to have a baby. I mean, is that too soon? 2 years?
Crickets.
Tick tock, tick tock. Okay, let me say this, because when we look at the time period the two people are together, right? 2 years is really not a long time.
It really isn't.
Because when Al says get to know your mate, and there are signs, 2 years is really not, you're still in that honeymoon stage. Even if you're not married, you're still in that honeymoon stage where, you really do care what you look like when you wake up next to him. It's like, you know,
Yes.
I don't think it's enough time. I don't. Let's see. Jacqueline says no marriage, no baby. Okay. Ever then we will need to weigh all options beforehand. Period. Bottom line.
But you
So,
know what? I have to say, everybody's saying this. No, no baby, no marriage, no marriage, no baby. Get to know the person. You can be with a person for 5, 6, 12 years. You don't really know that person.
no, because I was with Cameron's dad. I was I was with Cameron's dad for sheesh 5, 6 years, and I never would have dreamt that with all of who he was, I never would have dreamt that he would
Have
do
been,
what he did.
yeah.
You know, so we're talking about me helping him with his business, and we're working with each other, and how would you know?
You don't. You don't know. Everybody has another side.
Of course.
And they're not, I don't care if how long you're with them. Oh, unless okay, like my parents, they've been married for a long time. So they do know each other. So, they've gotten to know each other over the years. But, they've been married well over 50 years.
Well,
So you've got to know somebody then. And my dad just puts up with my mom's shit. So, so
well, don't they all? You put up with something.
yeah. But I mean, nowadays men don't what with what I see. But sometimes I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get married. I see stuff going on,
I know.
arguments, and it's like, oh shit! I'm so glad I'm single. I don't
I
deal with
know.
that. Yeah. So but still, you know, it just men or women do not deal with crap anymore. You have this thing, the cheating part. One go out and cheat, and then he come back. He or she finds out about it, and then there's like, baby, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I promise.
Right.
I promise you. And then the second time she catches him, they done cheated. Oh, baby, I'm sorry, it just happened. I just okay. What happened? You just fell in it.
I couldn't. I just could not.
Yeah.
I could not. And you know what? And you just, Alan, shut up, Alan.
Okay.
You know what, ladies? If you are single, let me tell you, Alan Strother is fine as hell. We've been
Yes,
friends
he is.
forever. Okay, we have been friends forever. That's my boy. Get at him.
Is he still single?
Yes, he's still single.
Hey, Alan, what you doing on the second? On
I
the
gotta
first?
move my camera. I just figured out my camera was in the wrong spot.
Oh, so you didn't have to move your chair.
No. So let's see. What does Sid say? Let's see. 2510. You don't totally know anyone, but some get married less than 2 years, and not all of them fail. Well,
Right. You're right. No,
that's
not
true.
all of them fail. But when you're talking about, and you need to, you think about the age bracket that these 2-year relationships before marriage come along.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about a more mature couples,
Mm-hmm.
then they're subject to last a little while. But if you're talking about these young couples, 2 years, you know, 2 years after that, they're ready for divorce.
Or 2 years in, they didn't got somebody else in 2 years before they get divorced.
Yeah.
You know,
So,
it's like, oh my gosh. Alan, what are you doing? Alan over there laughing. Alan, I'm trying to hook you up. You know, I am still a friend to you, so I'm still trying to hook you up, my brother. Love you to death. I want to see you happy.
you know what?
Maybe,
I don't think Alan have any problems getting hooked up.
Alan is picky.
Okay, but he's still. Oh, so you think you could pick for him?
Of course I can. I know better for Alan than Alan knows for Alan.
Okay. On that note.
Oh, so Jacqueline said, I just seen too many people putting kids in horrible situations because of not paying attention to who they are dealing with. Can't do it. That's true. That is true. People have children, like I said, out of the pressure of either family members, friends, or society. You know, because society has always labeled what we should do as individuals. And we've got to get away from following the patterns of what is said to be the norms. You know, you have to work on who you are and do you.
And see, you know what? It's like I put on my post. I wasn't pressured to have babies. I was pressured to stop having them.
Oh,
Because I mean, you know, it just I loved being pregnant. It had nothing to do with. It had nothing to do with, you know, what friends, family, society had to do with it. It I loved making them, and I loved carrying them. So,
you know what? I like pretending to make them.
well, I like that too. Even though it didn't happen, I like that part too.
Oh my God.
But
Oh
it
my
was,
gosh.
but it's just, you know, like some people see. But I guess being an only child, I was looking for those kids to, I can't say make up for the siblings I didn't have, but you know, I don't know. But society didn't rule. I can't say society. Society. I paid attention to what friends, family, and society said. I did me.
Mm-hmm,
Because
mm-hmm.
if I had to go by my peers, I would be a crackhead or um, something.
He said he likes doing the Al when I said I like pretending. Al said me too. And
Well, see,
then
now I like pretending because ain't nothing gonna happen.
exactly, just a puff of dust. Cedric said I like doing what it takes to make them too.
All right, Seti, that's true.
Oh my gosh. But okay, so the guys didn't want to call. What's up, Norman? Hey, precious. So Norman is getting
Oh,
married. I saw the picture
congratulations!
of he and his partner, and they look really happy. I'm really happy for them both. I really am. So congratulations, Norman. I really do like seeing you happy. You got to try and come over. I don't know if you went back to California or not, but you got to come over and do a show with me. You got to. And you know what? That would be a good topic, Norman. Okay, so I'm going to present this to you, Norman, and you can tell me if you want to talk about this at some point. Whether or not, gosh, I don't want to say this out. I really don't.
Well, don't.
No, I'm not. So Norman, I'm going to talk to you about it, and then I'll figure out, because we're going to be leaving for season break and coming back in July. So I'll have time to talk to you about it, because I do want to discuss something with him. I think that would be a really good show, since we're talking about babies. Anyway. But see, the guys didn't even call. I wanted to hear from them about being pressured.
They scared.
No good, guys. Alan, call me. I want to hear from you. 702-245. Huh?
Alan talking all that stuff in the background. Get on the phone.
That's what I'm talking about. That is what I am talking about. So, Alan, give me a call, 702-245-5488. I want to hear from you. I've got some questions for you, because you know I can hook you up, my brother. Ladies, Alan is single, but you got to go through me so I can screen you.
Well, I hope it's not somebody in Vegas.
Who?
Anybody.
I thought you had some news. Gonna spill some tea.
No.
That was my tea spilling face. I'm like, who? Too much in your background. Al, come on now. Really? Serious? So Jacqueline's like calling you guys out when I said they're not even calling in. She goes, big shocker. Come on, guys. My time is running down. I've only got about 15 minutes for you to call. Al, come on. Said, Norman, somebody.
Come on, put your big boy panties on.
Huh?
I told him put the big boy panties on.
The big draws.
The big draws.
I was going to say something. It wasn't going to be nice, so I better not. Okay, so let me ask you this. So but you said that, I can't ask you that. So when you said that you were pressured to stop having children, how many children would you have had?
Oh, you know what? No, I wasn't. I was kind of joking when I said that. But if I had not had that DNC, I would have had a total of 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And I can't imagine having more than one.
That's because you only got one.
That's right. Because you know what? And I like being transparent when we're on these shows, because it then shows people that, yes, we are human and we're not here to hide anything. But how do you guys feel about, and this is me, I'm talking about me. After I had my son, I waited a year so I could get my tubes tied.
Really?
Yeah. I thought you knew that. I never told you that.
No.
Yeah. I didn't want any more.
Tony?
Huh?
You kept that from me?
I thought you knew. I did, because you know what? Because see, at that time I was all into my career, and education was huge for me. I wanted to travel. I wanted to start a business. I wanted to do all kind of different things, because it was basically, I was like all about me and trying to do something, right? And I think
that's why women don't have kids right away, just because of what you just said.
I know that, but I had so many different things going on at that time. Let's see, before Cameron, I was signed to Capitol Records. I was all over the place. I was doing all kind of different things. I was doing shows and doing background singing for folks, and I had all kind of stuff going on. All kind of stuff. So when I had Cameron, and I don't want to say that it was an interruption of what I was doing, because he's a blessing to me and he always will be. But when I had Cameron, I thought, you know what? I'm single. His dad didn't, hold up his end of the bargain. Um, I didn't want to be caught up with being single and having another child.
So let me ask you this. Say Cam's dad hadn't been a dog.
An asshole.
Okay, I was trying to be nice. But and I mean, would you have given up your career, or well, I mean, would you have had other kids?
It's hard to say. Honestly, it's hard to say because nothing, you know what? Because even when Cameron was born and he was a baby, nothing really stopped me because I took him to shows with me. Um,
Were you
hell,
still with his dad then?
no. And well, even before that, I was still working on so many different things, gaining a career, in entertainment. And I was just doing all kind of stuff. So he understood, my aspirations. He did. He understood that. But even with Cam still as a baby, Cameron first crawled on a studio floor, on a recording studio floor. That's when he first crawled.
So see, that's why he likes to drop them beats.
That's probably why he's into this music like this. But so I'm not saying that I stopped what I was doing. I had in my head that I didn't want to have another child out of wedlock. I didn't want to get caught in a situation that would put me in a circumstance of having another child out of wedlock and not being married. It wasn't conducive for me. Having one child for me was good. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it. I loved being a mother. My pregnancy, I had the model pregnancy, everything. Never was sick, nothing, perfect pregnancy. But I just didn't want any more children. So do you think that's bad? You guys tell me.
No.
You can sing, Lady Bree. No, I can't sing, Al Brooks. I can't sing anymore. I'm old.
That's because she don't use her voice like she should.
That's true.
And she can blow. She still got pipes.
Nah. I'd rather talk. I'd rather talk. So do you think that's wrong? As a single parent?
What? No, I don't think it was wrong. It was you. You did what you felt you needed to do for you. And I think there are a lot of single women that should have thought about that before they had that child.
Yeah, because you know what that year did, and this is what it did. Because when I had Cameron, the first thing I said when my doctor came in, and I'll never forget Dr. Bauer. He was a wonderful doctor. So he said to me, he said, "Oh my God," he said, "this was the fastest birth I've ever seen." And he said, "No complications, the baby's healthy, you're healthy, blah, blah, blah." He said, "So just make sure that you take the precautions. Don't do this, don't do that, else you're going to end up back in here." And I'm like, "Absolutely not." And he's like, "What?" He said, "You had the perfect pregnancy." I'm like, "And?" "I'm done." He said, "You're only 27." And I asked him, I said, "Well, can you tie my tubes? Can you tie them now?" And he said, "No." He said, "I tell you what, if you wait a year and you come back to me and you feel the same way, then I'll do it." I waited his ass out. And I was right back there. And he tied my tubes 1 year later. Kid you not. But it's not for everybody to do that. I understand that. But to me, I thought it was a responsible decision. I thought. Because I knew the chances of me getting pregnant again, I just didn't want to take that chance.
Well, like I said, there are women that we both know that is pregnant again, and I think they should tie them, cut them, take out her uterus,
Leave the box,
just
take
leave
out
the box,
everything out.
because she don't have not one of her kids.
Really?
Really?
How many kids?
Let's see.
Oh, damn, when you have to do that, that means you're
I'll
counting fingers off air, off camera.
that I know of, maybe 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And she doesn't have not one of them.
Not near one.
What
Not,
does she ever talk to you about how you end up in that situation?
I already know how she ended up in that situation.
Well, I know. That's like you say, Mom, I'm pregnant. And they, how does that happen? Oh my gosh. But does she ever talk to you about,
No.
serious? Why doesn't she have her children?
I can't discuss that on air.
Dang it. Dang. Because I'm nosy.
Yeah, I can't discuss that on air.
Okay.
But I just, it's just, I mean, from my understanding, she's gonna get. Well, call in, Jacqueline.
I know. Jacqueline, we got 5 minutes. Go for it, my love.
From what I understand, she's gonna get her get them tied this time. Oh shit! It's about time.
Really? I just can't understand. And I don't want to sit here and act like I'm judging, because I don't want to judge. I really don't want to judge. I don't understand how, you can have these children and then not be a parent to them.
I don't understand that.
Hot Topic Talk Radio.
This is Jackie.
Hello, Miss Jacqueline.
Jackie.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
So what's up, Ladybug? What you got to say?
Well, definitely on my end, I really can't say that I've felt the pressure really to have kids. I always was just like, it's just one of them things like, look, God, it's in your hands. It's in your will.
Mm-hmm.
Because I knew I just didn't want to just be in a not so hot situation.
Right.
Not that I didn't, take my chances with that, because I did, and just by grace of God, I didn't, wasn't in an awkward situation, but it's just one of them things, and Lord knows now I'm at an age anyway where I would just, even more so, I say, if it's in God's will.
So
and I just definitely want to be married, of course, with the kids situation. I know I wouldn't want to,
So right now at this juncture in your life, Jacqueline, because I don't want to say age or anything like that. At this juncture in your life, now let me back up. Do you really, really want to have children?
Truthfully, I can go at this point without.
Okay. So if the right man came along that God has intended you to be with, do you think that you would take alternate measures in order to have a child? If your clock has run out, would you take those alternate measures to have a child?
Oh.
I know, I be asking some good ones, huh?
I really would say that has to just really be up for discussion, where we just really weigh our options and really figure out what's best.
What does that mean, Jacqueline?
I mean, what is this? I mean,
you know what? She gave me a Trump answer, or she gave me a William Barr answer from today.
Wow, a Trump answer. Really?
You danced around that one like they were playing the blues, girl.
I don't know what else to say to you. Is that I would really need to hear from God about that.
Okay.
I don't have nothing else to say about that.
All right then. She's like, look, girl, don't ask me nothing else. Damn it.
I just take, having kids ain't a joke.
No, it's not.
It's not a game, and it's just something you just really want to know that you're just in the right situation with the right person.
Right.
It just seriously, truthfully weighing all your options and seeing what you really, if I would really hear from God that it was in His will for us to conceive, then, I would do it. But I'm just saying it. I'd have to hear from God.
All right. That's fair. I'm not going to pressure you no more. Because Jacqueline said, damn it, look, Tony, I ain't saying shit else. I'm done with you. See, Jacqueline's a good girl. She won't say what I just said, but I know what she means. Exactly.
You can be her voice.
Right. Oh my gosh. Jacqueline, thank you so much. It was so good to hear your voice, and I really am hoping that we will see you on June 1st.
You will.
Miss Yvonne Baker is coming down with me, so we're going to have a good time.
Yeah, you will.
Oh,
You will. I will definitely be there.
All right. Can't wait to see you.
Okay.
All right. Good night, sweetheart. Love you.
Love you too. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
All right. So that was Miss Jacqueline. She was like, girl, please, I'm not answering nothing else you asking. I done told your ass. Oh my God.
You know what? God knows what He's doing, because it's like my son Brandon, we were talking about that one day, and had God not stepped in, and and I don't know how to phrase this, but she had complications at the end with her last pregnancy.
Wow.
He said they would probably be up to about 8. they had kids. I mean, they were like little
Little stair step.
Yeah, that.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Because when he came out of delivery with his last daughter, he was so sad. He said, "Mom, I guess there won't be any boys."
Oh.
They were going for that boy, and they were going to keep going until they got their boy.
Oh my God, no! I wouldn't want that.
But if I had not had complications at my last pregnancy, God knows how many kids I would have had.
Don't y'all know how to say no?
No, shoot.
Oh no. Mm-mm. Like I said, I had the model pregnancy. I did. I really enjoyed being pregnant. I loved the feel of the baby moving.
Yeah.
I ate everything.
Yeah.
I just enjoyed pregnancy, and my skin was pretty, and hair was
And
pretty,
no, yeah.
nails. Yes,
All of that.
everything was perfect. And even after giving birth, I had lost all that weight just right away. I was like, oh my God, this is good.
I had
But
a,
I want my tubes tied.
but you know what? I had considered an alternate because I met a guy and he wanted a baby, and I was not able to give him what he wanted.
Okay.
So I had he and I had started talking about alternative ways of having a child.
Mm-hmm.
But God said, no, you're not going to do that.
Mm.
So we ended up being friends. And then it just separated.
But you know what? It's one thing, because when you just said that, I just realized I never had any guy pressuring me to have a child.
Oh, he never pressured me. We just talked about it. And
That's
because
me.
that's
I've never even had a guy talk about having a child.
well, it was the way I felt about him, and I guess he felt the way, about me. I wanted to. I wish I were able to give him what he had wanted. And now that one, I'm pretty sure he would have been a fantastic father
Wow.
because of the way he treated my kids.
Yeah, still. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I made it to this year. I'm serious. But I loved being pregnant. And the birth of my son was the best day of my entire life.
Yeah.
It really was. And then my second, of course, my grandbaby, but
Oh yeah,
I,
the hands.
oh my gosh, the grands, that's something different. And I am
It's
learning this.
totally. And you know what? When I was in there with my first grandchild, it was the most amazing experience. I mean, it was just. I think it was. Well, I know it was better because I wasn't
You
delivering.
wasn't laying down on that table
Exactly.
with your legs all up.
Well, she had to have a C-section, so.
Oh, okay.
But I was right there in the delivery room, and I'm all in the doctor's way, and they had
Wow.
to tell me, Miss Baker, can you please sit back and let us do what we got to do? I'm like, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my God. See, I didn't get that opportunity, but I can tell you the first time I held button, OMG, it was like this instant love,
Yes.
and you think it's an amazing feeling to have an instant love with your children, with a grandbaby. OMG. And my button, she looks like me. She acts like me now.
Oh, Lord.
Oh my gosh, she is just the best.
Has she started cursing yet?
Hey, we getting there. She gives you a look though. She gives you a look when she's not happy. She look over at you like what the hell? Oh, and got attitude. She has plenty attitude. So the love of grandchildren. Oh my gosh.
You
I don't
know,
even know if we can do a show on that. You think we can do that for an hour?
no. But you know what? I hate to be the one to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I told
I told you so. I knew it. I know, because I was all over the fence on it. I'm like, oh God, what is it gonna do? Yeah, I was, but oh my God, that the world moves around this baby.
Yeah.
the world moves around this baby. But anyway, so we're off subject and we are out of time. So what you got to say?
I just got to say, this last words. Okay, so I just have to say, all of you ladies and gentlemen that are listening, do not let anyone pressure you into having a child until you are ready, because you're not only doing something wrong for the child, you're messing up your life too.
Yeah.
So it's best for you to wait until the time is right, until you are you sown your wild oats.
Right. Right.
And you're ready to settle down, because a child is a huge, huge responsibility. And so many men take it lightly about having a baby. But man, I closed my eyes and all I saw was the banner. I'm like, oh, I'm talking to myself.
Ain't no telling what you get with me and Yvonne on this show together. Oh my God.
But no, just take it. Just take it. Just take it and do you until you're ready to do you and a child. That
Exactly.
child is going to take up 99% of your time.
Because a lot of people don't even
And then
realize it, and I think that's why I waited so long to have a child, and when it did happen, it happened, but I was at an age where I was ready for it. I was mature enough for it, but people don't wait, they don't think about what the cost can be. And I'm not talking about monetary. I'm not talking about what it's going to cost you per dollar to have a child. I'm talking about all the ramifications that come with it, because you're giving up so much, because it's not about you anymore. It's about that child.
Exactly.
You can't go out and get the Prada shoes. You can't go out here and you party with your girlfriends. You can't save no money because the money's going to the baby, all these different things. So people don't realize, when they have these children, there's a lot that you are giving up, and that lot is you are giving up yourself for 18 years plus, because it doesn't stop
It doesn't stop at
18. Exactly. Exactly. So
I got 30-year-olds. Yeah. Mama.
let's say amen.
Amen.
Oh my God, but it's all love. It's all love.
Love my babies. All
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, great show, Miss Yvonne Baker.
Yes, it was, Miss Breedlove.
Well, thank y'all. So I do want to say thank you to everybody who had tuned in tonight. We really enjoyed you. Thanks for calling in, Miss Jacqueline Price, and Yvonne Baker and I are looking forward to seeing you on Saturday, June 1st at the Banning High School All Alumni Picnic happening at Hoyt Furman Park in the city of San Pedro. That's Saturday, June 1st. Alan Struther, Al Brooks, Cedric Hampton. Who else do we have? Miss Kumar. Who else do we have? It was a bunch of people. I can't even go down. Well, those are the ones that I see that commented. For those who had just, listened in. Oh, and then we had All I Got Is Me, Shizzle. She was listening in.
Oh. So, what's up, Lottie?
Oh, you know who that is?
Yeah.
Oh, hi. So for those who did not comment tonight, I'm really hoping that you did enjoy the show. And if you did miss tonight's show or any parts of it, we do welcome you to head on over to our website at hottopicstalkradio.com, or you can catch up on YouTube under Hot Topics Talk Radio Network. We will see you back here next week on Wednesday, every Wednesday night. The show starts at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 10 o'clock Central, and 11 o'clock on the East Coast. If you're looking to come back and watch Real World News TV, they are on hiatus until July 12th. So You guys catch up on those shows on Real World News TV. Next week is our last show for the season, and then we'll be returning again in July. So
how they get on go on break before we do?
Backstory, girl.
Well, I'll be knocking on the back door because I want to know.
Backstory. Girl, just, I want to tell you. So anyway.
I will be calling you. Maybe not tonight, but
not tonight because I'm going to sleep.
Me too.
Oh my gosh. So thanks again for watching. We really do appreciate you. We really appreciate your continued support. And as always, we do this for you guys. And I'm hoping that we'll get you back here next week for our final show of the season. And until then, we will see you next week on Wednesday night here on Hot Topics Talk Radio with me, Yvonne Baker, and hopefully Chris Smith, because he is doing some coaching for the little ones. But we'll be back. All right. Have a good night and have a wonderful rest of your week and a fantastic weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hot Topics Talk Radio. You are clear. Good night.